was like, how many posts a week are you making across all platforms? He's like, oh, got that nailed. He's like, I'm posting once a day. And I was like, dude, we post 50 plus times a day. He was like, dude, you just got to do more. He just was like, you don't need to say anymore. I understand. Because he had enough experience in other realms to know that like, oh, all of the things in volume that work in sales, that work in customer success, that work in product in terms of iterations, the same concepts apply to advertising and marketing. Like you just need to do a lot in order to figure out what works so that you can do better later. Now, what's interesting about this is that this also applies on the paid side. So I remember there was a chiropractor agency that approached me. They were doing about $2 million a year. And he was like, hey man, I think I've saturated Facebook. And so I was like, and this is when it was Facebook, not Meta. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just think I've saturated the chiropractor niche. And I was like, this is a $10 billion a year industry. And you feel like your $2 million per year agency has saturated Facebook. I was like, do you know of any chiropractor agencies that exist? He's like, yeah, there's loads. It's like, there's hundreds of them. I was like, okay. So explain to me why every sale that is keeping all of them in business is somehow not sales that you should be making. He was like, got it. I was like, right, you're spending 40 grand a month when in aggregate, all the agencies that are selling to chiropractors are probably spending 4 million a month. And so all of the spend that those businesses are able to make in your market is your opportunity. Is if you can outcompete them, you can provide better service, you can have longer LTV, means you can spend more to acquire the customer than they can, and then you can eventually price them out of the marketplace. Because fundamentally, paid ads is actually an auction for attention. And so people bid against each other for ad space. And so if you can outbid your competition, you can have an ethical monopoly by literally bidding more than everyone else while still making money. And that's the crazy thing. And that's what fundamentally what you want to build in terms of the mousetrap of your business is how can I make more money from every customer than anyone else does so that I can spend more than anyone else can to acquire them. And so I had a portfolio company CEO who's a good marketer, come up to me and he was like, hey man, I think we really need to scale our ads.